Hey guys,
Hi.
how you doing? Hey Clara, hey Twan, what's going
Hi.
on?
Hello.
It's already like 2 days since Junior Eurovision.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's been
crazy.
so long.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry we didn't, guys. I have to say, sorry we didn't come back yesterday, but me and Clara especially, were so tired.
Yes.
We just had no motivation to do any videos or any live videos. I'm still in lockdown in my house because I'm waiting for my PCR test to come back. So I'm stuck at home. Clara, how was your trip home?
Well, my trip home was quite easy because I was just so tired. I slept all the way home. Then I arrived to Valencia. I slept a siesta, and I slept so deep that I could feel like my mouth was open and like it was not pretty. And then I slept some more, and I woke up today, and I had to do all of my Christmas shopping, and I forgot how Spain runs, like everything late, and I was almost late here because I just finished basically.
Antoine, you also travelled home at the weekend, but not from Paris.
Yeah, I went to Ireland on a trip with school, on a school trip, and I arrived
Nice.
home on Friday.
Well, we're here to talk about obviously Maléna winning Junior Eurovision. We've already had Yerevan announced as the host country for next year, which is very, very quick to announce it. And kind of like our favourite things from Junior Eurovision 2021. But before we do that, as always, we have to say, hey, David. David, thank you so much for your comments in our lives while we were over in Paris. Found out Norway sent a delegation to Paris. Maybe if Iceland debut, we could be seeing the return of the Scandinavians. We'll talk about that later. We've got Yusuf. Is that like, what is that? Elbow cough. Are you not well, Yusuf? I hope you haven't got COVID like everyone else seems to have in the UK. We've got Sarah O'Halloran. You're obsessed with you and many, many others. Lots of people really happy that she won. She was a favourite going into the contest, wasn't she? So it would have been a huge shock if she didn't win. We've got Rye Bailey in the house. Hey, it's nearly Christmas. We've got four days to go. Let's have a look. We've got Pablo K. Hey, Pablo. We've got Justin Hall.
Justin.
Thank you very much, Justin.
Thank you. Yes.
As well. We can't. I was going to say we can't wait, but we've got Turin to come first. But we have to talk about the lady herself, Maléna. Twan, I'm going to go to you first. Obviously, you were watching from Ireland, from home. Was it a huge shock to you? What was your reaction that Maléna won with Qami Qami?
Well, actually, I was working, so I didn't watch the show. I could just watch the results, and I was absolutely shocked by the results. They were all over the place. And I wasn't surprised that Armenia won. It was so deserved. Her performance was absolutely stunning, and the song was great.
A star is born in Armenia, really.
Yeah, for sure.
She's got a big career ahead of her. Clara, Bob from Team Eurovoxx was telling us that they were literally going wild in the streets in Yerevan. You can just imagine the reaction.
Yeah. I can, and this is a huge thing for Armenia, considering I think they last won like 2010, so it's been almost like 10 years or 11 years since Armenia won, and they've never won the actual adult contest, so maybe a step closer.
Yeah, well, they weren't. They haven't been in the adult contest, really, have they? Since 2019 was the last.
Yeah.
They weren't due to participate in 2020, I don't believe.
Yeah, they were.
Yes, they were with chains on me. Oh, no, chains on you.
2021, they did. So, it was a good return for Armenia to the Eurovision family. I'm wondering what this is going to do when it comes to their Eurovision entry this year, because you find sometimes that when a country wins Junior Eurovision, there's kind of they've really got that motivation to do something really great and maybe a little bit risky. Armenia's never been one in Eurovision not to take a few risks. Anyway, they don't always play it safe. In terms of the performances on the night, I mean, she was one of the standouts, not only for her, but also for the staging. It's one of the most modern stagings of the contest. Visually, it looked fantastic.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to connect like my Wi-Fi. I'm in a new setting. I'm in a new house, so my Wi-Fi is doing something strange. I thought like visually it was really fantastic, and like it was the pastel colors, the soft neons that blended really well. And I really like when the dancers like start like doing the robotic moves, but then they go swaying, and I think it's a song with contrast, and that's what makes it so special and visually appealing. And the fact that they smoothly introduce the contracts, like the dances and the vocals are really great. I like it also with the way she sings, because I think I said this before, everyone in the contest is obviously underage, so their voices are quite high, but she's the only one that, maybe except Simao, that purposely sings in a lower tone, very airy.
Yeah, I mean, she's sorry, Twine, were you going to say something?
No.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say, in terms of the visuals, the favorite thing for me was outfits. I thought those suits were love. Twine, I could see you in a shiny suit like that. I'm sure you.
I would totally wear that. I would totally wear that.
But even in terms of her presence, kind of on the stage, she was. I mean, she's 14, I think, but she's very mature. Very confident. She looks like someone that's been doing this for a very, very long time. You don't always get that with the kids, and you should never expect that with the kids either, because of their age. But when I say A Star Is Born, I really do think she is going to be a huge star in Armenia already because of her win. I think she's got a great career ahead of her. And the vocals, the vocals weren't the best on the night. They weren't the best of all the countries. But she did a really confident performance, star-like quality about her. And really, when it came down to it, it was hard to see anyone else winning this. I mean, maybe kind of Georgia and France, after seeing their rehearsals as other potential winners. Poland, no one can ever discount Poland. I mean, she was another. Sarah James was another real star quality about her, but maybe not the best starting position to be singing. I think she was singing in third. Georgia as well, singing in second, but it didn't hurt them. They all could.
No,
five.
Not at all. And we have this second place curse that obviously didn't affect. I've been told that this second place curse is not is just in adult Eurovision, and clearly it is.
Yeah, it's not really a junior Eurovision thing.
I was kind of surprised that Georgia did so well. Going into the contest, I hadn't expected them to enter the top 10 even, but they finished like fourth, I think.
Yes, fourth. They did
really well. And I have to say, after seeing the performance, I was kind of surprised by how good his stage presence was and how good his vocals were. So I think that fourth place was really deserved.
He is a showman. He's a showman and a little comedian, like Andy pointed out during this week.
Yeah, he's
that was
sorry. That was me. I need to change the setting. Just give me. This is a disaster. This is a Spanish curse. Give me a second. I'll be back. I'm sorry.
I'm glad nothing bad happened.
Yeah.
But Nico from Georgia, he's another one who's going to be a huge star. And I was actually playing the songs to my mum yesterday when I was kind of having my chill day, and that's the one that really stood out for her. She really enjoyed watching it. She was kind of laughing and smiling all the way through, and that's, for me, that's what Junior Eurovision should be about as well. Yes, we have these these great kind of star-like singers performing these really modern songs, but he was very, very, probably one of the most charismatic performers that we had on stage on Sunday.
Indeed.
It was a bit comedic. He was really confident, but he was cute. And I mean, I think he's only like 10 years old, 10, 11. Is that right? So. One of the youngest singers in the contest. But again, he's a little comedian and he knows it. He knows how to work a crowd. He knows how to work people. I think if you watch the interview that Clara did with him in Paris, he's very funny. He's very cheeky. So yeah, fantastic result. I was secretly hoping it would maybe be between him and Armenia, but fourth place. He did great with the juries, but it was the televote really that let him down. I think he didn't get such a good online vote. I think the points for the online vote were lower than I expected for Georgia. It was a bit of a surprise.
For quite some countries, they were a lot lower. Because for my own country, the Netherlands, I think we only got like 36 points or something. And usually the Netherlands is like up there in the top 1, 2, 3. So yes, I was also really shocked that the Netherlands was last because I don't think it was the worst performance at all. First of all, I'm kind of biased because I absolutely love this song and I love Ayana. But I just don't think it deserved to end last.
No, I mean, someone always has to come last, unfortunately.
That's also true.
I agree. I don't think it should have been the Netherlands. For me, it was a song that really grew on me once I'd seen it stage. I thought the staging was very beautiful. The song is very sincere. She's got a really pretty voice, and everything about the staging was pretty. And it was very different to anything else that we've seen with kind of the kind of like the Japanese elements. And it was a bit of an earworm song for me as well. We're talking about the Netherlands, Clara, and I think you can vouch that Clara's sideways for some reason. I think you can vouch that it was an earworm song for me. One of the songs that I was humming a lot in Paris. But yeah, it's sad in Junior Eurovision that someone always has to hit the bottom of the scoreboard. I think Harry, you're really not having a good night, are you?
Okay, no, I'm just gonna hold the phone because my mom lent me a tripod which is broken, which is just what I figured out.
Pablo says, Clara, be careful.
Yeah.
But any other songs that really stood out for you, Twan, or any other performances or songs that you thought should have done better on the night that maybe didn't?
Well, I have to say Serbia. Going into the contest, I liked Serbia. But that performance, that staging really stood out to me because it was something different from the other stagings. It wasn't static at all. They had like a big, what was like frame that was like also like kind of a mirror effect, which was really cool. And they kind of divided two worlds, a bit darker and a bit brighter world. The only thing about Serbia, their dresses were absolutely not my thing. Let's put it that way.
They were horrible. Let's just be honest, because they were.
Yeah, I was not going to put it that way, but you are right. But the song is just so lovely, and their voices blended together so well. So I would have liked to see them do a bit better.
They probably had like some of the sweet. It's like one of the sweetest and purest performances. I think it was just very, very cutesy. And maybe I wasn't a fan of the outfits or the dance, the choreo, the moves they were doing seemed a little bit basic for me. But I thought the idea of the staging was good. It was just a very sweet song, and a few people told us actually who were watching in the arena that it was really impactful live in the arena. And maybe that didn't come across so much on the TV screen. Someone's just saying as well in the live chat about Pablo. It's you saying that you were shocked about the 15th place of Spain. You really like Levy's performance. Twan, what do you think about Levy's performance and his staging?
I think he did great. Spain is always a powerhouse at Junior Eurovision, so going into the contest, I expected Spain to be in the top 3 or top 5. But they were 15th, and that really surprised me. I just cannot put it another way. It just really surprised me.
But Clara, they didn't really get the staging wrong this year.
I don't think they got the staging. I thought they were trying to be like the cool kids, and that card has already been played before. It's nothing new. Like, these pretending they're painting the graffiti on the wall and without actually anything happening, just the person going like this really didn't set the mood right from the beginning. And there were a few notes that actually Levy hit the high note, vamos a reír y bailar. It's just... I think it was just that the material Levy was working with was not good enough. I don't think the song was good enough. The performance he did was well. It's just like the materials he was given were not good enough to work with. I would put it this way.
We are going to talk about some more of the songs, guys. And just quickly, Clav says 12 points of broken tripods. But we have had the confirmation as well that we're going to be heading to Yerevan in 2022.
Yes.
Hopefully in November, because I'm not sure I'm down for another contest that is so close to Christmas. I think I found that quite troublesome this year. It was lovely to watch on screen with kind of the Christmas vibes, but for people that are traveling, it was far too close to Christmas for me to be comfortable with traveling away. So I'm hoping for either early December or back in November. But I can fully understand why the contest was put on so late this year. But Clara, how excited are you about heading to Yerevan next year? I've never been to Armenia.
I've never been to Armenia either. I'm super, super excited. The only thing I know about Armenia is that it has a really beautiful mountain range. That's all I know. And I don't know, I'm super excited because it's going to be a new country to discover, new food to try, new music to listen to. And those are like basically the things that rule my world, like food and music. So yay! And mountains. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Maybe we'll see you there next year.
I would absolutely love to go to Armenia because Yerevan seems like an amazing city.
Lots of different influences, and someone was telling us the other day that quite a lot of French influence as well in the city. Yeah. So
like very wide boulevards, I've heard.
Yeah, it sounds beautiful. So yeah, really looking forward to going there next year, and great as well that we can kind of start planning for it because we already know where we're going. We don't know. I don't think we know the venue yet, but we know that the EBU have confirmed that Yerevan will be the host city. Yes, Clara needs a new tripod for Christmas. Maybe she could do a.
I'm going to buy one tomorrow for sure. Like I'm not leaving it another day pass by without a tripod.
Yeah, one of those like Amazon wish lists. Maybe someone watching can buy you one. Justin Hort as well. This is another one I want to call out because Ukraine was amazing, and actually, I think the performance that she gave in the final on Sunday was the best performance that she'd done all through the week. Not there's anything wrong with the others. I mean, she's very, very focused. She's very talented. She says she would love to go to Eurovision in the future, and I have no doubt, Clara, that we might see her there in the future.
Yes.
Such a young lady. She's 14. She's a songwriter. She's got this great set of lungs. She can hold the stage. Probably one of my favourite performances from Sunday overall. What were your thoughts?
Well,
yeah.
Go
ahead.
Okay, well, I was just want to point out that it was really visible that she was one of the only ones that wrote her own song because she could see the passion that she had for her song and that it really came from herself. And that's why it was my winner, because it's just such an amazing, lovely song with her amazing vocals. And you could feel it was coming deep from her soul. Like she wrote her own lyrics, she wrote the music, and she had help with the music from another person. Well, it was just her song, and whereas the other songs were great, but they were written by other people and not by the artists themselves.
Yeah, I think you can always tell when someone's really connecting with a message, and it's because she wrote it herself, and you can really feel she really truly believes in her own words, and that must feel so satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, she described it when you spoke to her. She described the songs as her babies, really, and it must be amazing to be able to sing at such a young age, performing one of your own songs. Because I think she was the only person this year that had written the song or been part of writing the song themselves.
Yeah.
And she's a real talent. She presents herself very well. That won't be the last we see of Maléna. Another country that we can talk about is Dieter Musica. Sarah asking if they should go on a worldwide tour in the future. They need to do a gig in Ireland. I'm not sure how possible that would be, but I have to say I'm drinking from my Go Green Forces mug that I got from Paris. I have to say that I kept this mug because I actually really love it. It's such a nice mug.
I have their face mask. I have their face mask.
Yeah, we don't normally come back with things because Clara always travels light and my suitcase is always really packed. But I thought I have to bring this mug back because I
looks lovely.
It is lovely, and I think you're asking if it's one that changes colour. It's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was actually Die Musica. Green Forces was my favourite song, I think, going into the contest this year. I think they did a great job on stage, but it just lost something for me. But still a great position. I think they finished in the lower end of the top 10. I think it was 8th.
I think
Seventh?
9 or 8th.
8th
I
or
think
9th.
9th.
Yeah, they actually had a lot of support when we were doing our lives in Paris, Clara. A lot of people were saying that they'd voted for North Macedonia, obviously before after they'd seen the video. So yeah, great position for them. I think there could have been improvements with the staging. You know, it could have, for me, it could have just been the two guys, Philip and Miha, who were the act, because the girls weren't really that involved apart from dancing, but also a good starting position for them in 18th. Twan, what are your thoughts on North Macedonia?
I really like the song. I do think that it's a bit repetitive though. Like after 2 minutes, you've basically heard the song because it just keeps on repeating the same thing.
Yes, I just
good
after hearing me probably sing it with that.
But it's still really good. And for the live performance, I just kind of missed the girls' voices because the boys' voices were really good. I just missed a bit of depth in high and low voices. If I can't explain it well, but
yeah, but that's what I mean. It should have just been the boys, I think. Because
yeah,
the girls were contributing.
Yeah, either just the boys on stage or just the girls singing a bit more. Because it felt like the girls were not useless, but I don't know why they were there.
Yeah, Clara, the song itself is a good song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the track. I like the music in the track. I think that's what won us all because it has this sort of ethno-pop vibe to it that we love in Eurovision so much. So they were like the people, the country bringing that to us, and the AU part is very catchy. The melody itself is really catchy. Maybe the delivery, the way they delivered wasn't the best, but overall the song is really cool.
Yeah, but they pulled it off, I think, and obviously they did enough to get quite a significant number of votes and a good position in the top 10. If you are just joining us, we've already discussed Maléna winning Junior Eurovision this year. The fact that we're going to Yerevan, and we discussed some of our favourite countries, and I can see in the live chat as well. David is saying Portugal got their best result and it was deserved. Simao is a great performer. Would love to see him at Eurovision. Clara, this was your favourite going into the contest.
Yes, going into the contest without having seen any staging, just based on the song, this was my favorite because it was so elegant and it had this uniqueness. The story of the song. If you can't speak Portuguese or you can't understand Portuguese, the song is literally a description of his life. I'm this boy that will turn into a singer. I'm the boy that will grow up and be the guy that all of the songs talk about. So I thought it was really charming. It would really warm my heart, and his voice was amazing.
Yeah, he's because he's quite a shy, quiet guy until he's on the stage, and he just exudes this confidence. But his kind of background, his story is lovely. Obviously, he won the Voice Kids in Portugal. But yeah, it was just kind of enchanting to me. And I think again, Portugal got the staging of it was kind of these graphics on the back wall, exactly what you need, just very, very, very simple. And it was actually quite emotional watching him perform on Sunday for me, kind of married up to those images on the back screen. They got it absolutely perfect. And I think it was a bit of a shock maybe for some people that this did so well in the online vote. I think it came third overall in the online vote, but not so well in the juries. I think people thought it was going to be completely switched.
I was the one that thought it would be a jury song completely, but I'm happy Europe agreed. And well, Europe and the world, because there was 199 countries watching, so or voting. That's amazing. But I honestly think that the outfit he was wearing on stage suits more his actual personality than when we saw him around in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Yeah, he is. I don't know what word you use to describe him, but he is like. There was a clip that Junior Eurovision showed on their channel, and he's kind of sat there all dressed really smart with his legs crossed, and he's like an old man in a young person's body. But there's nothing wrong with that. But that's just like his personality. Were you a fan of Portugal, Twan? I'm a poet, and
it's not my type of music. Let's put it that way. I will admit that his vocals and his stage presence were absolutely magical. Yeah, it's just not my kind of music, but it was great.
But was France your kind of music? Because another one that maybe surprised some people.
I like it, but I don't love it. I think it's really, really catchy, but I'm kind of done with this vibe that France is going for. I think we've heard it. I think we understand that they like this vibe, but I want something new.
Yeah, but I mean, he was performing on home soil.
Yeah,
Clara, probably the best for me, the best staging of the whole contest. It just worked perfectly. It suited him. It suited his performance. He was very confident on stage. He's another little star in the making. I think that's where France TV are being very, very clever with Junior Eurovision, because they are making these stars out of these young performers. Obviously, we had Carla, who was presenting the show, Valentina, who won last year. They're making her out into a little star, and I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they want to do with Enzo. But he's got all the qualities to be a big star.
Yes, indeed. And the fact that he didn't lose his breath in any second of those 3 minutes, that's amazing. Like, what a bolt of energy he is.
Completely. And I love the choreography of the dancers as well. One thing I have to say about Junior Eurovision this year is the dancers. I think the dancers did an amazing job. And watching the show back yesterday, they were dancing in the postcards. They were doing all the dancing on stage. I know they weren't in Enzo's performance, but in all the other segments where they were dancing, they did an amazing job. So props to the dancers, whoever you were. But yeah, Enzo, I had him down as a potential winner after watching him on Sunday again. I thought he could win the show again. He did really well with the jury vote, but again, I was maybe surprised with the online score. But yeah, he did a fantastic job. I'm sure that won't be the last we hear of him. We have to say hello to Adrian Petrikovsky. Hello to you. Just one more country to mention as well is Poland, because I keep saying it. She's another star in the making. But Twan, what were your thoughts on Sarah James and her song this year?
It was just kind of flawless, to be honest. Her vocals were not perfect. The song was great, though it was a bit also not repetitive. It was typical Polish. We've seen it, but it was good. It was really good. I love the dancers. I absolutely love the staging. It was really, really well done. So I would say it deserves second place.
Yeah, the dancers actually had like the most amazing.
They were like galaxy theme.
Yeah, it was some sort of body paint. It was some sort of body paint that went through, like, from their hair to their face through their leotard. So I thought it was fantastically done.
How long would that have taken them to put on?
I think it actually took a good few hours. But
yeah,
can you imagine the mess on the pillow. That was wow.
They have it on in the rehearsals.
That's a great question. I don't think they did. Maybe in the last ones.
They probably did in a second because they shot the clips for the online voting, but I'm not sure.
I can't remember. Neil Error is just saying Poland could have won if they didn't give 12 to Armenia. Ry Bailey, you think France are going to win Junior Eurovision next year? Pablo K, you're saying Sarah is amazing. Hello to Mali from Serbia. What do we think of your cutie girls in Junior Eurovision? We've already spoken about the girls from Serbia, but personally, I think the performance was one of the sweetest of the night. There are a few things that maybe I would have changed, like the outfits and the choreography, but I think they did a great job, and we heard lots of great feedback from people that were inside the arena as well. So you should be very, very proud of your girls. It was one of the sweetest performances on the night. Clara, have you got anything to add to that?
I think the song is an earworm. I like the chorus, and they just harmonized together so well. I think it's pure sugar. It's pure sweetness. I just don't like elements on the staging, like the fashion they chose for them. And some of the graphics seemed very, even too childish for them. But their song, their voices, their connection, stage connection they had with each other, I think it's really heartwarming.
Pablo, you're saying Serbia had very nice staging. You think it helped them a lot. And Jess, we always miss you when we're talking about them. But guys, we need to wrap it up now because I'm feeling a bit groggy now, so I need to go. But if you are just joining us, we've been speaking about Maléna winning Junior Eurovision 2021. The fact that we're going to Yerevan for Junior 2022 has already been confirmed. That's the host city, and also some of our favourite songs and some of our surprises from the contest this year. So if you are just joining us, you can go back and watch us from the beginning. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Otherwise, go and shout out to us on our socials. We love hearing from you guys. But Twan, sorry, excuse me, Clara, till next time.
Bye.